Everyone, it's Father Sean here for another episode of The Couch Chat. And of course, it's getting close to spring. I guess this probably comes out on March 1st, which feels like it's time for spring, and the weather's been kind of wet, but also kind of warm, so feels like spring. And one of the things that always is kind of a joy in the spring life in a parish is the sacramental life kind of heats up a bit. So shortly on March 12th, we'll have confirmation. So our 10th graders will receive that outpouring of the Holy Spirit and lives forever changed. Then, of course, our second graders are beginning that journey in a more intense way, preparing for their first Holy Communion that first weekend in May. So we really look forward to that. And even our second graders have wrapped up their first reconciliation. So basically, we ask the parents to bring their kid to confession at some point, and hopefully the parents go as well. So it's kind of this season in the church when there's this new life that comes through the sacraments. And it's not just a natural life, or it's not just something that happens, but it's God giving his supernatural life to us. You even think about how this happens in these, first reconciliation. In some ways, when kids receive their first reconciliation, it's at the age of discretion, which we say that's the age when they can begin to know right from wrong, or at least it's very clear that now they know right from wrong. And that's kind of a sad thing, right? Isn't it better if kids, they didn't have free will and they're just acting impulsively, but I guess they'd never grow up. So there is a bit of a sadness that now they have to confess their sins, right? Now they're choosing to do wrong and failing to do good. But that's part of this growth and maturity. And then, of course, the Lord sustains us in this. And that's this great gift of the Eucharist that he's giving these children for the first time, and that he nourishes us with as often as we're able to receive it. And so there's incredible moments where the Lord leads us in our Christian life. And even March is kind of, at least for me, where the marriage season begins to pick up, March, April, May, and then June's it really starts to hit. But so that's this time of this sacramental life of the Lord pouring his graces upon these couples who will be joined in marriage. And so maybe just this time of year, as all these sacraments are happening in the church, it's a time for you to reflect on your own reception of the sacraments, maybe your own First Communion, right? To go through those First Communion pictures, or even to just figure out what day you were confirmed on. I say that because I learned that I just celebrated the 20th anniversary of my confirmation, which is hard to believe, but also just an incredible grace. And then even, your own wedding, right? As couples get married in the church, and you notice that to rediscover the joy of marriage. Sometimes marriage can seem so ordinary. It's just a part of your life, which it should be, but every moment the Lord gives us these little doses of his goodness. So maybe to rehash all of the sacraments, the times you've received the sacraments for the first time in confession in the Eucharist, and continually for those sacraments. And then lastly, just ask for your prayers. Maybe if you would pray for those who are about ready to receive an outpouring of the Holy Spirit at confirmation, and also for those who will be preparing for their first Holy Communion, and all those preparing for marriage. Maybe even in a particular way to pray for those preparing for ordination. Of course, Deacon Alex Dugas is preparing for his priesthood ordination in May. So it's a great season, the season of new life in the world with spring, but also the season of new life in the church. So pray for all those in the church about ready to receive a sacrament, an outpouring of God's love, and thank him for the times he's done that for you. So it's Father Sean for the Couch Chat. Take care. We'll talk to you next time, and keep on praying. Bye.